The sun beat down upon the dusty plains of Outremer. The air, thick with the anticipation of violence, crackled with tension. Welcome to Cryptic Mystic Vault, where we dive deep into the hidden history of human civilization. Reynald de Chatillon, a name whispered with fear and admiration in equal measure, surveyed the horizon. His eyes, cold and blue as glacial ice, glinted with a predatory light. He was a knight of France, yes, but one forged anew in the crucible of the Holy Land. He had come to Outremer seeking glory, seeking redemption, seeking a fight worthy of his ambition. He found all three in the endless struggle against the Saracens. Reynald was not a man of half measures. Where others saw diplomacy and compromise, he saw only weakness. His raids were legendary, swift strikes that left a trail of smoldering ruins and plundered riches in their wake. To the Muslims he was Shaitan, a devil incarnate who delighted in bloodshed and sacrilege. To his fellow Crusaders he was a necessary evil, a blunt instrument wielded against an implacable foe. But all agreed on one thing: Reynald de Chatillon was a force of nature, a storm that raged across the Holy Land, leaving chaos and destruction in its path. His name struck fear into the hearts of seasoned warriors, and sent caravans scattering for the safety of walled cities. He was a master of the battlefield, a tactical genius who could turn the tide of a skirmish with a single, decisive maneuver. But Reynald's true talent lay in his ruthlessness. He understood the language of fear, the power of a shattered economy, and the demoralizing effect of unrelenting aggression. To him, the war against Saladin was not a clash of armies but a battle for the very soul of the Holy Land, and he would wage it with every fiber of his being, no matter the cost. The whispers followed him even before he ascended to the throne of Antioch. Reynald de Chatillon, the penniless knight who had carved his own legend in the unforgiving landscape of the Holy Land, was now a prince by marriage. His union with Constance, the widowed princess of Antioch, sent shockwaves through the Crusader states. Many saw it as an act of opportunism, a calculated move to gain power. And perhaps they were right. But for Reynald, it was more than that. It was a chance to prove himself, to show the world that he was more than just a skilled warrior. He would be a ruler, a protector, a shield against the encroaching darkness. He ruled Antioch with an iron fist, his reign a tempestuous mix of shrewd governance and brutal pragmatism. He fortified its defenses, bolstered its treasury, and repelled every attack with unwavering ferocity. Yet his methods were often questioned, his judgment clouded by a simmering rage that seemed to emanate from his very core. His time in the Holy Land had hardened him, stripped away any naivety he might have once possessed. He had seen the worst of humanity, the depths of cruelty that men were capable of, and he had emerged from that crucible a changed man. It was during his reign in Antioch that Reynald's most infamous act unfolded, the sacking of Cyprus. The details, shrouded in the mists of time and hyperbole, remain a subject of debate. Some chroniclers paint him as a monster, a bloodthirsty pirate who unleashed unspeakable horrors upon the innocent. Others, while not condoning his actions, speak of a calculated act of aggression, a preemptive strike against a potential enemy. Whatever the truth, the raid on Cyprus cemented Reynald's reputation as a man who knew no bounds, a man who would not hesitate to unleash the dogs of war, even against his fellow Christians. The walls of the dungeon were cold and damp, the air thick with the stench of mildew and despair. Reynald de Chatillon, once the proud prince of Antioch, now languished in a cell, his world reduced to a few feet of stone and iron. He had been captured during a skirmish with the Saracens, his legendary luck finally running out. For 15 long years, he endured the isolation, the deprivation, the gnawing uncertainty of his fate. His captors, knowing full well the value of their prize, demanded a king's ransom. But even as the years turned into a decade and more, Reynald never lost hope. He had always been a man of action, a whirlwind of energy and aggression. Yet, in the confines of his cell, he discovered a different side to himself. With only his thoughts for company, he was forced to confront the demons that lurked beneath his gruff exterior. He reflected on his life, his choices, the path he had forged with his sword. Was he a righteous warrior defending the Holy Land, or had he become the very thing he swore to fight against, a brutal tyrant? The years of imprisonment took their toll. Gone was the fiery, impetuous youth. In his place stood a man tempered by hardship, his resolve hardened into an unbreakable will. The experience had not broken him, it had forged him anew. He emerged from the darkness a changed man, his spirit unbroken, his thirst for vengeance insatiable. The world would soon know that Reynald de Chatillon was not a man to be trifled with. He had stared into the abyss, and the abyss had blinked first. After spending nearly 16 years in captivity, Reynald de Chatillon returned to the Holy Land with a vengeance. His previous experiences had hardened him, and he was now more ruthless than ever. He wasted no time in launching brutal raids against Muslim caravans and settlements, earning a fearsome reputation. Reynald's actions were not just about personal gain, they were a direct challenge to the Islamic world. His attacks on Muslim pilgrims and even attempts to raid the holy cities of Mecca and Medina were seen as blasphemous provocations. These acts of aggression only intensified the animosity between the Christian and Muslim forces. Reynald's defiance reached its peak at the Battle of Hattin in 1187. Here, he faced the formidable Muslim leader Saladin. The battle was a catastrophic defeat for the Crusaders, and Reynald was captured. Saladin, who had not forgotten Reynald's earlier provocations, executed him personally, marking the end of Reynald de Chatillon's tumultuous and violent life. Imagine a world where Reynald de Chatillon's defiance at Hattin led to a different outcome. If the Crusaders had triumphed, the balance of power in the Holy Land would have shifted dramatically. The Crusader states might have expanded, altering the course of Middle Eastern history. Trade routes could have flourished under Western control, potentially accelerating the Renaissance. The bustling markets of Jerusalem and Acre might have seen an unprecedented exchange of goods, ideas and technologies from both East and West. However, prolonged conflict might have ensued. The Crusaders' victory at Hattin could have sparked continuous warfare, leading to further cultural and technological exchanges, but also more bloodshed. This alternate history would have reshaped the geopolitical landscape, influencing modern borders and international relations. The echoes of Reynald's defiance and the Crusaders' hypothetical triumph would still reverberate through the corridors of power today, a testament to the profound impact of a single battle on the course of history. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more explorations into the symbols that shape our world.